Good evening, guys, and happy Tuesday to all of your sunshiny faces. I'm not gonna lie, guys, it doesn't feel like Tuesday. All day today I was thinking that it was Wednesday because I was like, oh, the Chicago Bulls game is gonna be on tonight, and so for some reason, again, I was just thinking that today was Wednesday because it's supposed to be on Wednesday. And no, it was not. My dad had to remind me that because he was like, oh, well, like, him and my mom and Jack actually yesterday started watching Reservation Dogs. And so yesterday, though, because I was editing so much yesterday, I was also really trying to get my grocery list done because Matthew actually too for Meijer, he shops at Meijer a lot at, like where he's out at school. And so he shops there a lot, and he's like, oh, if you find any really good deals, like send me the list and stuff like that. He asked for the list, I think on Friday or something, or no, maybe he asked for it on Saturday or something like that. And I was like, it's the last day of the sale today, if you're going. And the last week, again, you guys saw there wasn't really that much going on at Meijer. So I was like, I'll send the list to you, but there's really not that much going on. So then this week I saw already that there were like some good deals going on, and I had mentioned to him, I was like, it looks like there's already some good deals like going on for next week. I was like, if you want to just wait until maybe like Monday, I can send you the list and then you can go then. So I don't know what he ended up doing, but I did end up I wanted to finish the list sort of yesterday so I could send it to him, and I didn't. So then today I was like, okay, I really want to finish this so I can send it to him. So thankfully there's a ton of stuff going on at Meijer, guys, but I finished all of it. So I have my Meijer list completely done, which is awesome. I also too today I got to dishes and laundry, and I cleaned the bathroom, and I edited another 2 vlogs today. I uploaded the 4 that I had edited yesterday. I just I wasn't actually up super early today. My mom's friend was coming to pick something up, but she was gonna stay, and just like I guess for coffee this morning or something like that. So she was over for like a few hours this morning. But it was sort of before I was really even awake. Like she was coming early in the morning, so I sort of was, but then at the same time too, I was like, I'm just honestly gonna stay in bed because the dogs at first were barking a little bit, like, originally when like they heard a new person in the house, and they were also barking too because Bliss was barking. But then once like she sort of introduced herself to Bliss and Bliss calmed down, then the puppies were quiet, and I was like, I don't want to disturb them and bother them and get them all riled up again, by like going and trying to take them out and getting up and everything like that. So I was like, honestly, I'll just hang around in here for a while. So I think it was honestly like about, I don't actually remember what time I ended up getting up, but again, it was a little bit later, but I did wind up getting up like when I heard her come over, and I just sort of, like I said, sort of just stayed in bed for the most part. But then again, when I actually got up, I got to all of the other things done for today that I wanted to. One of the other things though that I did wind up doing today, guys, that just, I don't know why. Maybe it's in part to the fact that I've been burning this little candle I ended up getting. I think my mom got it for me maybe from the dollar store, like from Dollar Tree. It is this bourbon salted caramel like candle. I don't know how well you guys can see that on there, but I think the packaging is like the ones that they have from the Dollar Tree, and I honestly do not remember when on earth I got it. I think it's one of the newer ones though, but I feel like the caramel scent, it's sort of like, like fall, like, sort of like I said, that fall scent. I have so many candles. I tell you guys all the time, I'm like, I need to burn these candles. So I have another one too that's like an apple cinnamon smell or something like that I also really like burning in the fall. I have a couple winter scented ones too, but I have, again, out of all of my candles, my favorite scent is probably like really fruity scented ones and stuff like that, but I feel like those work really well for more like summer. Like to me, they are very reminiscent of like a summer scented sort of, like I said, like fruity. Like I have got a cranberry mandarin, and I'm trying to look in here because they're all in here, like I said, like that kind of stuff, like sweet citrusy sort of like fruit like scents and stuff like that, just like sweet smelling stuff. And then I have, again, more of the like fall scented, or like I also have some winter scented ones too. So like I said though, I was burning this the other day, and then I was burning it again today. It honestly does not melt very well because the wick is not like centered, so I can tell because it seems like it's burning more off to one side than it is evenly throughout the whole thing. So anyways, like I said, that's a slight little problem, but just gonna have to deal with that, and when it's, you know, the wick burns out, it burns out. But anyways, the that I feel like sort of put me in the fall spirit a little bit. And then on top of that too, my mom also, I told you guys, like, she's been doing some of the decorating for fall and everything. And then also too, she like put a new Scentsy in the bathroom with like a sort of pumpkin, but it doesn't smell like pumpkin, because honestly guys, I'm not gonna lie, both me and my mom cannot stand the smell of pumpkin candles. I honestly don't entirely. My mom, I think, got sick one time, and there was a pumpkin candle that was like burning or something like that at the time when she got sick, so now she associates that smell with like being sick, so she doesn't like it. And I'll be honest guys, when I was little, I remember this like perfectly clear. I don't know why. I was like 4 years old in preschool. I went over to a friend's house for her birthday party, and it was in like October, and so I remember her mom was burning the candle like on the stove, and it was like that pumpkin scent, and I don't know why, I just remember sitting at her house being like, I hate that smell for some weird reason, and to this day I just have never liked it. And I always though associate that with like her, like she was a really good friend, like, you know, it was a perfectly fine birthday party. It wasn't like I was associating that with like being 4 and like missing my mom or something like that. Like there was like, I had a really good time at the birthday party, like, you know, like again, I don't know why, but like I just remember like being in her house, like sitting there for like cake, and just being like, I don't like that candle scent, like, you know, because we were in the kitchen, I think, and like I said, her mom had it like burning on the stove, and I was just like, I don't like that smell. Like for some reason, I can, like I said, don't know why, but at 4 years old, I realized that I didn't like that smell. And to this day, like, I don't know if I actually don't like the smell now, but I just for some reason associate it with being little and not liking it. I don't really know that I don't actually really like the smell. But the one my mom has going in the bathroom is like a pumpkin, but it's more like cinnamon sort of, like apple sort of. So it doesn't really smell like super pumpkin-y. And that's why too, like I have some that are sort of like that, where it's like a pumpkin but like more spice, like, you know, like the cinnamon sort of smell, or again too, like more of like an apple pumpkin, you know, or something like that that's like mixed with it. But like I said too, like the generic, like, you know, pumpkin scented candles, I hate them. I can't stand the way they smell. So like I said, I have some other ones though that sort of smell similar to that, but because again, I feel like now that's going in the bathroom. I also too, I think I shared with you guys, maybe it was last year, almost 2 years ago, I don't remember when, but we ended up getting those, they had the Glade like room sprays, like, you know, room freshener sort of sprays. We got those like I think, like I said, last year, 2 years ago or something like that, and they were only under $1. I think they were like 98 cents or 89 cents or something like that, but they were sort of like all funny pun sort of names. Like the one that we have in the bathroom right now is called Fall Night Long, and then there was another one too that was like Let's Spice Things Up or something like that, but they were all different fall scented like ones. And so that also too, like, just like, I don't know, it's the scent right now of fall, I feel like, for me, that's sort of like putting me back into like the fall mood. But because of that, I was actually looking up some ideas for my pumpkin that I'm going to carve this year, which is weird because honestly it was like right after I graduated high school, for some reason I all of a sudden got super into pumpkin carving, like, you know, printing out like the like stencils and stuff like that, and like actually doing those, because I remember, I think the first year I graduated high school, I think I did an Olaf, and then I did, I think, Black Panther either last year or 2 years ago or something like that. But, and I don't remember entirely what I've done the last like couple of years, but most of them I wind up, like I said, doing some type of like set stencil, like printout or something like that. And again, to something that's not just like generic pumpkin sort of face, like, you know, jack-o'-lantern sort of thing. Like I said, I normally wind up doing something sort of like unique, just because when I was little I would get so frustrated. I'd be like, I want to make a really good pumpkin. And it's funny too, because we have neighbors that live a couple houses down from us, that every single year they would do the really intricate like pumpkin like carving, where like you don't carve it but it's more like the scraping sort of, and they would have these beautiful pumpkins. I always wanted to do that, but I will be honest, I am no artist or anything like that. I cannot do that very well. But like I said, I would always see those and I would always think that that's so cool, and I wanted to just do something cool. And every single year when I was little, I remember it always turned out with the same like triangle eyes, triangle nose, and a weird little, you know, smile with teeth or something like that. And it was almost the exact same thing every single year, and I just really got frustrated. And so then finally, once I was, like I said, out of high school, I was like, why did I never think to like do this or, you know, get a little bit more creative with my pumpkins or anything like that. And there was a handful of years too where we didn't end up like carving pumpkins and stuff. But like I said too, just like recently, like every year now though, I sort of like prepare ahead of time of what I think I want to do for like the pumpkins. And so like I said, this year I was actually looking something up and I think I found what I like. But it's funny though because like it always, I feel like lately too, ever since I've been doing the ones like I said out of high school the last handful of years, it's always been sort of something that's like associates, you know, like with something that sort of either happened that year or again too just like in my personal life too, like something that I'm really into that year that, you know, I think would be really fun to do. So like I said, this year I think I have a kind of a good idea as far as like what I want to do. So like I said, and I think I found a stencil that I actually like that I think I'm going to do that way. So anyways, yes guys, like I said, I'm in the fall spirit. I think I finally have my pumpkin carving ideas down as far as like I said what I'm thinking of doing this year. But it's funny because like I was saying, I've never really been that into it. And on top of that too, my mom's actually allergic to pumpkin. So she, like when we were little too, like she could never help us like, you know, scoop out the pumpkins. I think she could carve them, but I think it was more like the seeds and the innards of the pumpkin that she was allergic to. So like when she was little too, she couldn't even really do like pumpkins or anything like that. So if my dad sometimes like scoops it out and everything like that, my mom can sort of like draw on what she wants, and sometimes she can sort of like again carve it. But like as far as like, you know, touching and getting her hands all into the you know, the actual pumpkin, she can't do that because again she will have an allergic reaction from it, which is not good. So I feel like too that was another reason why like we were never super huge into doing pumpkins, was just because like, you know, if we, especially with little kids, we couldn't do a lot of like the carving or the scooping out and stuff like that, and my mom couldn't really help us. So a lot of times like with the 3 kids, it turned into like just my dad having to sort of do it for us, and it would take a really long time too. And I remember like also getting bored sometimes when I was like, Dad, can you help me with this? And like he was like scooping Matthew's pumpkin or something like that, and then, you know, it'll just take a really long time and I'd lose interest in it, and then I was like, okay, this is boring. But now I was like, again, more as an adult, that I can actually do it, come up with my own like, you know, idea, actually carve the pumpkin myself and things like that. I feel like I have more freedom over it a little bit too, is that now I enjoy it, I think, a little bit more. And again too, I sort of plan ahead of time now as far as like my ideas for what I think I want to do for it. And it's funny too though, because I think there was one year, I want to say it was 2 years ago maybe, or 3 years ago, where I actually had an idea of what I wanted to do, and then we didn't end up getting pumpkins. So who knows, we might not even wind up with pumpkins this year, and I came up with an idea that I might have to save for next year. But either way, again, or maybe that was last year, and 2 years ago I think I did the Black Panther. Matthew, I don't remember what he did. Jack did, I think, Spider-Man or something like that. But I think it was last year maybe we didn't end up doing pumpkins, and I think I had an idea that I wanted to do for last year and didn't end up doing it. So either way though, I'm sort of geared up for fall, for pumpkin carving, for, you know, all of that comes with it. I'm sort of sad because, you know, football's sort of gonna be over after this week. We've got no more high school football. But it's funny guys, as cold as it has been this week, and I told you guys too, I was snowing and everything like that. I think maybe I mentioned yesterday's vlog, it's supposed to be like 70s on Friday, and I'm like, really? Like, you know, that's like not football weather. But the same thing happened with Matthew's like last game of the season. It was the same thing too. It was not at home, it was away, and it was actually a fairly warm football game. Like I was barely, like I was dressed up like sweatshirt and like boots and stuff like that, but I only got brought up jacket. I brought a blanket, but I didn't even have to use it. Like it was actually very, very warm out that game. But it looks like Jack's game again is going to be at least decently warm, you know, not like, you know, this 41 or whatever it was last Friday. It looks like it's supposed to be actually pretty warm by next week, and like over the weekend too, looks like it's supposed to be really, really nice, like the 70s. So I think maybe Friday actually is not supposed to be quite that hot, like high 60s, but I think over the weekend we're almost supposed to get like 75 or something like that. I was like, that's crazy. And I don't know really what after that's supposed to happen, if it's supposed to get back down to being freezing cold like it is right now. But either way guys, I will see you all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.